Hi. Well,
Hello.
it's 9:30 p.m. here, so good
Awesome.
evening.
Good evening to you too. Where you dialing in from?
From Abuja, Nigeria.
Very nice, very nice. So go ahead and share with us, introduce yourself to our audience, and let's dive into it. Tell us about Napoleon Hill and Think and Grow Rich work.
Okay, so hi everyone. My name is Afolake Ighodaro. I'm Nigerian, and I read Think and Grow Rich 2 years ago. 2 years ago, I was introduced to the book by my mentor. I went for a business conference. And I was never into self-development. I was never into that space. I'm a lawyer, so, we just never did that. So when I got the book, I was like, wow, Think and Grow Rich. Okay, let me see what this is about. And I was mind blown. First off, it opened my mind to the possibilities and the abundance out there. Talking about infinite intelligence, which I had never heard before. I come from a religious background, but we don't discuss religion the way the book discusses religion,
Right.
So religion here is more, it puts you in a box, but the book just opened my mind to my power, and as opposed to relying to other people and just going outside to seek help, it made me realize that I had the answers. I just had to know how to ask, So apart from that, planning. Most times people just make plans in their heads and then they don't write it down. They don't follow up with steps, like actual steps on what to do and how they are meant to actually do something, as opposed to just having an idea and then you just sit and wait for some magic to happen. So the planning really, really helps. So now I always write down my goals. I write down my goals and I write down the steps I'm to take towards achieving those goals. And all the time I'm able to tick off every single goal on my list. And since then, I've gone through several other seminars. I've taken my life coaching certification. I've gone through emotional intelligence, NLP, EFT, and it's just been an amazing self-development journey, all thanks to that. I mean, I coach people and they ask me, oh, okay, so what books do you think I should read? I'm like, Think and Grow Rich. That's the first thing that comes out of my mouth, because I feel it's a good start. It's a perfect start. Once you have that, it just sort of opens up every other doorway, and then you know exactly what to do. It tells you everything. I've gone through a bit of the success lessons, or in 16 lessons, success. I can't remember the full thing. Yeah. I've not finished it. It's like a whole textbook of wealth creation. But, I'm taking my time and going through it slowly. But Think and Grow Rich is just the perfect. Literally today, a friend just messaged me asking me for a list of books, and Think and Grow Rich was there. So I'm so happy to send her, everything that I have. But basically, it's just put my mind in the right space. And it's also made me realize the difference between the poor and the rich. It's not so much as the resources that we have available. It's more like, how are we able to actually use the resources that are available to us? And that mindset is very important. So when I speak to people, I just can tell, okay, this is where your mind is at, and this is how I can help you. So the book has been absolutely fantastic.
Awesome.
Amazing.
I know you're like almost 20 years old right now. You're going to 21,
No,
but
I'm
how old were you? How old were you when you read the book?
I'm 26.
I was gonna go with 21. I was gonna go with 21, but
I'm 26, so I read the book when I was 24, fresh out of law school. I was in law school. I finished law school, but I knew I didn't want to be a lawyer, because the way the legal system is set up here, it's not exactly fantastic. It's still a bit like
that's a whole entire That's a whole entire video on its own of how
Yeah,
don't think that we have it in US any better than you guys. Everywhere you go, there's obviously is a man-made. So anytime it's man-made, you have flaws in it too. So it
yeah.
is what it is. But let me ask you a question. What would you say were the top two things that you learned from this book that has been monumental for your growth so far?
There is a force out there, it's called infinite intelligence. You can call it whatever you want to call it, whatever name you want to put to it, but it's available to everybody. And you just need to know what it is, that it exists, and then know how to tap into it and extract from it what it is that you want. And obviously with good intentions. I think that is the single most important thing I took away, because then it means when challenges come, obstacles, you know that there's always a way out. There's always a way to extract solutions, extract answers. You just need to ask the right questions and you will get it. Number two is there has to be something you want to offer the world. You can't just say, gimme, 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 and then, I'm not willing to give anything in return. So it's simply what you give is what you get. What you sow is what you reap. Whatever you expect is what you get. So I think those two things, it puts the power in my hands. And it means that at any time I'm in control to make the decision that will give me the outcome that I want. So infinite intelligence and just, we'd be willing to offer something to the world. We're not just here just existing. There has to be, our life has to be useful, meaningful, yeah. So those two.
Definitely, I agree with that 100%. Now, so what is your profession right now? So you're an attorney, but do you practice law, or what is it that you do? Or you do coaching?
Coaching.
So what do you coach?
Success and business coaching. So basically I work with millennial startups, people who want to start their businesses, who don't really know how to go about it, or, people who want to transit from their 9 to 5 to actually starting a small side business, yeah.
Now, are most people in Nigeria read the book in their mother language, or do they read it in English? What has it been translated? Do you guys have that, or what language did you read it in?
Nigeria is an English-speaking country. Everybody speaks English. Most people speak English. The education system is English.
So they do English, good. Because what I noticed in many different countries, when they think infinite intelligence is one of those vocabularies that in many languages and cultures completely throws everybody off. And another word is faith. In many languages, when you translate the word faith, it confuses a lot of people. So I get a lot of messages. They're like, how do we put religion to work? And I'm like, no, the translation is faith. It's completely different than religion. So a lot of people confuse it when they read it in different languages. So I always recommend to people, even though sometimes English is not their first language, I always recommend to learn English, read this book, and then it will have more meanings and it will be much better for you. So listen, I appreciate you being on with us, and we're going to do this more often because I'm going to need your help. We do have a mastermind group that has been organized. We'll be in contact to invite you to be part of that group. And I always love the female side of what you get out of Thinking Grow Rich, because that's completely different. The reason why I'm emphasizing on that, it's because I see a lot of children when they grow up, when their mother is familiar with Thinking Grow Rich, the kids could also excel more, because majority of time now in US, majority of families, husband and wife, they work outside to provide for their family. But I'm blessed that I could, work and my wife stays at home. My wife is an attorney also too, but I know that my child is going to grow up and have these success principles being taught to her at an earlier age because my
Yeah.
wife knows about these principles. So I always love
Mhm.
the female touch into it, especially from a think and grow rich aspect of it. So we're going to do this more often. I thank you for being with us and contributing to our channel.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. I'm so happy. Thank
Thank you
you.
so much. Take care.
All
Bye-bye.
right. Enjoy the rest of your day.
You too. Bye-bye.